Welcome to the Partial Breakaway Fantasy Hockey Podcast, The Fantasy Lens. This is episode 142. Nick, what's so funny?
I don't know, man. Your face is very close to the camera.
We this is where we dive deep into fantasy specific topics, and this week is no different. Vince is going to lead the way. He's going to tell us about some players that are outside looking in from a fantasy perspective, and what we should do or expect from them in the coming back from the break. Before I hand it over to Vince, I want to remind you all to follow us on our social medias: X, TikTok, Instagram at Partial Break Pod. I also want to tell you to like and subscribe on YouTube. We are 6 subscribers away from 200. This is the easiest and most
Streaky.
efficient way to support what we do. And without further ado, Vince, I'm handing it off to you.
Oh, I like it. All right, so basically, this episode it's gonna be a bit of a who's outside the top 50 in fantasy scoring and who can make their way into the top 50. There are some surprising names. Now, I take into consideration that every fantasy league has different scoring. So I went with one of our leagues, which is the Llama League. So basically, the way the scoring works there for NHL skaters, is 3 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist, plus 1 point for a power play goal, half a point for a power play assist, 2 points for a shorthanded goal, 1 point for a shorthanded assist, 1 point for game winning goals, and then there's that whole little bit of plus minus that they go through. So I was just going through, players since especially I've been I've been an expansion team in that league, so I've been tanking the past few years to get up my draft capital. So I was looking at the points and like fantasy points, and some names that are out of the top 50 are really surprising. And I wanted Junior and Nick just to discuss and see if these are players that are gonna get back in the top 50, and if they do, how much into the top 50 will they get? Okay, like the first player I'll name you, to me was a surprise. Um, it was Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is ranked 52 in this league with 129 and a half points, 2.64 points, fantasy points per game. He's got 26 goals, 20 assists. So he has 46 points in 49 games played. And because this is also a salary cap league, he's making 13.4 million. So Nick, I'm gonna start with you. Like Austin Matthews, what's going on? Is this Marner thing affecting him more than we thought it was going to affect him? And because I mean, we can all agree Austin Matthews should be in, if not the top five, top 10 in fantasy points.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at all his metrics, you're saying to yourself, like 13.7% shooting percentage. His shooting percentage is actually higher than it's been last year, uh, but just a tad lower than his overall career average, right? Um, his career average is 15.7. This year it's 13.7. So not that big of a difference. He shoots 3.9 shots per game, which is the same as last year, but that is down from the year before that at 4.6, year before that at 4.4, 4.8. So maybe not shooting as much, maybe half a shot per game less than he's used to. His ice time is 20 and a half minutes, which is actually right around even higher than his average. So he's on pace this year for 77 points. He last year he was on pace for 95. The year before that 108. The year before that 94. The year before that 119. Right? Like we're talking about an elite player who has had some injury concerns. Right? He is listed as a little bit of a certified loose leaf paper here. Um, I just don't know if this is the year that he'll get out of. Like, is it really a year that you get out of that funk? Because the whole team is doing bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the part that I'm saying. Like, we were having a discussion about this with Commissioner Bats, and listener Bamia the other day. We had gone out for supper together, and we were discussing what's going on with Toronto. And yeah, like like it or not, we could say that they're a deeper team. Uh, but they're missing the 100 point setup guy that used to play on their team. Like it or not, he was a 100 point player. He made other players even better, or made them not made them better, but brought out the best in them because he was able to set them up all the time. I think that's a big loss when you don't have that on your team anymore.
Junior.
Yeah, to what Nick said, and like some people are gonna be like, yeah, but his points per game is good, so he's technically not a 50 in the over 50, but even at 2.64, he's like late 30s. If you want to talk about fantasy points per game ranking, he's still in like the late 30s, almost early 40s. So yeah, it's that's definitely a shocker. If you would have asked anybody going into this season, would Austin Matthews be? You would tell them Austin Matthews would be outside the top 50 in fantasy points. Yeah, they tell you you're crazy, or that he missed a lot of games.
I'm curious, Junior. Does it concern you that he's 28 years old and maybe starting to?
Oh, Nick, you read my mind. You go, boy.
Well, no. Look, I think he's elite enough that the age won't really matter that much, to be honest with you. But with injury concerns, especially if it's injuries that have to do with your back or something like that, which we're not even that sure what it is. Um, the older you get in age, I could tell you, my back hurts. Junior's back doesn't hurt, but my back hurts. So I just feel like, have we already seen the best of Austin Matthews? I really hope not. I really hope he has more years of 60 or more goals, but I'm not so sure that that's going to be a possibility anymore.
No, guys, come on. He's too good. He's too good. Like even on an off year, he already has 26 goals. He's still pacing for 40 goals, and he's not
Mm.
having a great year. He doesn't have Marner. Like it's been a complete whirlwind for him and the Maple Leafs. So no, I think he still has it in him. I'm not starting to get worried yet. I'm kind of. I'd like to see him change teams, though, to tell you the truth. I know Leafs fans might not want to hear that, but I'd
They
like.
don't. They won't mind it if McDavid is the one replacing him.
That good point. Good
Oh,
point.
did you get did we talk about that in our group chat?
No, but we spoke about it with a couple
Because
of friends.
McDavid and Austin Matthews contracts are both ending in the same year. So if Edmonton doesn't get it together,
Nah,
or what la visit,
I'm not sure
I
McDavid
don't
will
think
go to
that's it.
Toronto.
Yeah,
no, he's from there. He's from
we spoke.
Yeah,
Ontario.
you're right.
It was actually a question from listener Rooks,
Hmm.
and in our group chat, she basically said that
Oh, because
is there a
Spitting Chicklets
chance
said, yeah.
Yes.
that McDavid goes to Detroit? And
Hmm.
I could see that more than him going to Toronto, not because I'm a hater or anything like that, but because, like, just think about it. You leave Canada, you go, you play for an original six team, just like Toronto. You're close enough to Toronto that you could go visit family and friends at any point you want because it's just over the lake, right? So it's not that big of a distance, and you don't pay as much taxes. I don't see a reason why. And to be honest with you, I don't know about leaving Edmonton to go to a Toronto Maple Leafs team that at least this year is not showing you that they're a competitor. Whereas Detroit is showing you that they're on their way up. So to me, that's where I would say that Detroit does have a better chance than Toronto to get him.
Yeah. All right. So to the second player on this list. So this player is ranked, if I am correct, 55th in fantasy points. He's got a very good salary this year, but next year he almost doubles. So it's Adrian Campe from the LA Kings. So Campe right now has 126 fantasy points. He's at 5.5 million. Yeah, he's at 2.33 fantasy points per game in 54 games. Scored 20 goals, 25 assists, 45 points in all. Um, he is on a team that is struggling offensively. Um, eh, First thing is he? Do you guys think he's doing well for a team that's almost dead last in every offensive category as a team. And next year, as a $10 million player, what are we expecting from Adrian Kemp? Like these numbers can't stay the same if he's making 10 million in the salary cap. Junior.
Yeah, he's got to score 35 goals at least if he's gonna get in cap leagues at $10 million. Excuse me. He's pacing for 68 points, which is the lowest of the last 3 years. He had 74 last year and 80 the year before that. So if he could get closer to those numbers, it's more reasonable with the 35 to 40 goals. His shooting percentage is stable. His amount of shots on goal is stable. No, I like Adrian Kempe even with a bigger contract. I think it's still safe. He still has a safe floor for that contract. Um, Despite where the team is going, he's gonna find ways to produce. He started really slow. He started really slow. He's picking it up of late. He has 9 points in the last 7 games. So yeah, no, I think I'm not worried about Kempe. Nick, are you worried at all?
I'm not worried per se. I think this year he might climb those rankings that Vince was talking about. He might be one of those guys that actually could make it well within that top 50. But I will tell you one thing is that he's never been a big point producer necessarily. He's always been around the 70 points or less, like 75 points. I think was his best year ever, and that was he's 2 years removed from that. Um, but what makes Adrian Kempe is his goals, right? He's if he scores 35 goals, you don't care that he only has 70 points,
Mm-hmm.
because fantasy wise, it's gonna be giving you all kinds of bonus points, right? Um, so that's the part where I'm looking at it this year, and he's not going to be hitting. I don't think that 35. I don't even know if he might hit 30, especially if his hot streak continues.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a down year for him. Um,
But
so
Nick, is
he's
this
also
an
entering like next year. He's going to be when his $10 million contract hits.
yeah?
He's going to be 30 years old.
So, but is this
Like,
is this an Adrian Kempe problem or is this a Ellie King's problem?
well, I think that you're gonna see like with Matthews, a lot of the guys that you're gonna be picking, I think, are having down years because their entire team is having down years. So the supporting casts are having down years. Um, so I believe that it's obviously more than just a campaign problem. It's gonna be a team wide problem.
It might be a Quinton Byfield problem.
Mm,
I don't think he's developed as they were expecting. He was supposed to already be, or next year be the replacement for Kopitar, and I think now they're starting to realize, oh, we that's a big hole we're gonna have to fill next year because Byfield is not quite either he's not quite developed enough yet to get there, or he's just not gonna be that guy ever.
so speaking about Byfield, since we're on the
Oh
topic,
wow.
Byfield's 23 years old. He just turned 23 about 4 months ago. He's pacing for 46 points this year. Second overall pick. Excuse me if I'm not mistaken. It-
That was
are
the
we?
Lafreniere draft, I believe, eh?
I think so. Are we throwing in the towel? Like not throwing in the towel, but are we just? Are we? Okay, I'll go straight to the question. Is Byfield gonna be a point per game player, Nick?
Well, he still has 1 year on my age meter. He's 23, and I don't give up on players until they've passed 24 years old. And he has shown a little bit of improvement in the sense
Mm-hmm.
that, when he came in, he played 40 games in 2021. He had 21 points. He improved that. Sorry, he had a 21-point pace. I always look at point paces. In 2022, he had a 34-point pace. In 2023, he actually hit 55 points. You know, in 2024 he hit 54 points. So like now we're seeing an improvement and a consistent improvement. Um, this year, unfortunately, the whole team, like we said, is not doing great. I'm gonna give him another year. I'm gonna see if he starts hitting those 60 points. You know, he's a big boy. It takes him a while
Mm.
sometimes to get his skating legs back, growing a lot very rapidly. It could slow you down. So Dauber always says the 400 game mark for bigger people are your
He's
is
he's
where
at
you should
the
look.
he's at
He's at 313 right now.
313 games. Yeah. Junior, anything to add?
No.
Okay. So before I go to my next player, we're just gonna give you a word from our sponsor, DraftKings. Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. Anything can happen during the Super Bowl, and DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash when your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. While other sportsbooks don't offer injury protection, DraftKings covers the entire first half, even the second quarter. And early exit works on live bets too. Pre-game or in-game, DraftKings has you covered. New to DraftKings? New customer can bet just $5 and get 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 8887-897777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Voided in Ontario and Quebec. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. All right, boys. So let's get back to a player who's never been in the top 50 in fantasy points and is at 57. Uh, Yaroslavkowski. So Slavkowski right now has 125.5 fantasy points. He's at 2.28 fantasy points per game. In 55 games, he's got 44 points, 21 goals, 23 assists. Is this his breakout season where he can solidify a constant spot in the top 50 or maybe higher? With especially with the chemistry he's developing with Demidov. Is this the year where next year there's no hesitation in drafting Slavkovsky? Nick, I'm gonna go with you first.
Well, I was gonna say that basically Safkovsky was showing improvement in
Hmm.
the sense that he has taken a step forward this year. I'm not going to call it his breakout season, but he is taking a step forward this year. And you could see it because they took him off the Suzuki Caulfield line. They've given him more ice time than ever before. He's at 18.05 as opposed to 17.21, so almost a full minute more ice time than the previous year. And he's running that line with Demidov in the sense that he is a lot of the play driver. Demidov sets up a lot. Don't get me wrong; he does amazing plays on his own, but Slavkovsky's always in the thick of it. He's shooting more this year than he was last year. And you remember how we were, as Habs fans, I think we could all remember that the last 2 3 years he always started slow.
Hmm.
He always seemed like he was behind the eight ball. And now, this being his fourth season, he came in with the idea that he wants to start right away and start hot right away, and he's showing it. So his shooting percentage is a bit high. He's at 18.4. His average is 14, but I still think the player has taken a step forward here.
Junior.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything Nick said. His deployment is much better too. Even though he's not with Suzuki and Caulfield, he's still managing to produce with Kapanen and Demidov. Um, You know, top 50 last year was Nico Hischier was the 50th best skater in terms of points with 69.
Hmm.
Slavkovsky currently is pacing for 66. So he's 3 points away. Can that happen as of next year if he keeps getting better? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I just the one thing we haven't seen from Slavkovsky is consistency, so we'll see how it looks next year.
Yeah. And do you guys
He's
believe
shooting
that?
more, by the way, which
Yeah.
is great.
But that's what I was getting at. Is he shooting more now because there's no Caulfield and Suzuki on his line, and he's the go-to guy to shoot? Because like Demidov, as much of as a good player he is, he rather distribute the puck than shoot the puck. So did that change help him realize that he needs to shoot the puck more?
Yeah, I thought I mentioned it, but he's shooting more this year. He's at 2.1 shots per game as opposed to the 1.7. So that's half a shot
Mm,
more per game. Um, it's significant, half a shot more per game, but I wish I could see 3 shots per game from him. That
mm.
would really like make me feel a lot more comfortable in his projection at point per game player, which I know Vince was asking about before.
Okay, so we're gonna go to another player where I mean I think he won so many. I think he won the award every year in our award ceremony. Uh, Kirill Marchenko. He's at 3.85 salary, 127.5 fantasy points. He's a little higher than the guys who spoke about in fantasy points per game. He's at 2.55. 50 games, 46 points, 19 goals, 27 assists. Um, I apologize. Junior, you own this player. Did injuries slow him down this year? And that is why he is where he is?
So, I was with listener Umbi, I was talking about him, and I was like, he's not having as good a year as last year, and it's he's hurting me and a little bit in LPHL and so on. And then when you go look at his stats, he's pacing for 75 points. He's only
Yeah.
2 points shy of what he was pacing last year. So it's like a really quiet, good season, I guess he's having. But maybe I wish he had a bit more goals. I think that's the difference here. He's at 19 goals. You would wish he was a little higher up, but yeah, no, I don't. I'm not going to complain. His shooting percentage is a little low compared to last year. Average is pretty good. He's shooting more, which is good. I don't know how to put this together, but I think in the end, he's having a good season. It just doesn't seem that way. It's very quiet.
Nick?
Well, last year he had 74 points in total. This year he looks like he's going to get the same thing. So, points wise, I think that he's fine. He's doing fine, just great. And he could hit the 31 goals that he hit last year if he gets hot at the right time. He does have 5 points in his last 4 games here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not out of reach for him to actually hit 30. Um, I think it's very possible with a player like this. Great. I wish I had this player, and I've mentioned that before. I think we were both really going after him in that trade period. 25 years old, he's in his prime, 6'3", just does everything well.
How many years does he have left to his contract at 3.85?
Well, one more after this.
One more. Okay, so you still
Yeah,
have
I've
another
been
year at a discount.
tracking that. It's gonna be
Uh,
expensive.
the next player, Nick, actually just traded this player in one of your leagues.
Oh, you know
Uh,
he's gonna blow up.
so Philip Forsberg. I mean,
He's on
his team.
fire.
Yeah, now he's on fire, but his team has been struggling from the beginning of the season. So that's my question. Is not right now. Philip Forsberg is 82 in fantasy points ranking. So he has 114 points. He's at 2.12 fantasy points per game. In 54 games, he has 43 points. He has 22 goals, 21 assists. So Nick, you had this player, and you traded him. I'm gonna come to you. And one thing with Phil Forsberg, he's 31, so he's on the wrong side of 30 right now. Um, what can he come back to the Forsberg that you like lit it up, or are we looking at a transition in his game right now?
No, I think that he is a player that will do very well in the second half of the season as long as Nashville is competing for a playoff spot. I think that's the case. Um, I didn't trade Philip Forsberg because I don't like the player. I traded the Philip Force because in the situation that I'm in Lama, I'm not going to be competitive for at least the next 2 years, and by then Forsberg is going to be hitting age 34, or entering his age 34. So for me, it's like sell him now because he's 31 now. I don't want to sell him when he's 33 and his value keeps going down. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I still think he has a couple of productive years ahead of him, and I think the rest of this year he'll be productive as well. And I think he's going to hit 30 goals or 31 goals like he did last year. Um, I got Coronado out of it. I think Coronado is a future 30 goal scorer in this league. Um, but he's not there yet. He's only 21 years old. And I got another draft pick in this year's draft. So uh, I'm happy about it. I think I probably could have gotten more maybe, um, if I waited. But I saw a player that I targeted. I asked ChatGTP, and ChatGTP said Coronado's a good player. So that's who you should target for a dynasty league.
Oh,
So I did it. Let's see if it works out.
You should
Junior,
try
and
asking ChatGPT next time.
Yeah.
Junior, anything to add?
No, just that he seems to be shooting a little less this year than he usually does. But yeah, no, I agree with Nick. I think his numbers were even worse like 2 weeks ago. So
Hmm.
he's already started that progression back and managed to get to a pace of 65 points.
It's because I traded him.
Okay, so last player I want to talk about, um, Dylan Strom. Last year, Dylan Strom hit 82 points in 82 games. Right now, Dylan Strom is sitting at, trying to see where he's at. Where's his
Well,
rankings?
he's at a 9 point. He's had 9 points in his last 7 games.
Yeah, so he's at $5 million. He has 115 points. He's at 2.13 fantasy points per game, so just like almost a bit better than Forsberg. 54 games, 45 points, 16 goals, 29 assists. Can he return to being that? Right now, he's on pace, if I'm not mistaken, for 68 points. Can he catch fire and try to up that in closer to the 80 points for this year? Or is it just a large task to ask from him, Nick?
I don't think 80 points is in the cards for him this year. Although he does have more ice time than ever before in his career. I mean, he's being trusted all around in Washington, and it's great to see because I think this is a very good player, um, who will be a number one center for Washington at least for the next few years because I don't see them having a lot of center prospects. I know Cole Hudson's coming up. I know even when Ovechkin retires, I think that they're going to still be competitive. Team
Mm-hmm.
Washington, they have some good players coming up, um, but Cristal is one of them, right? But so I think Dylan Strom will be relevant for a long time. I don't see him hitting 80 points this year necessarily. He's on pace for 68 right now. Shooting percentage is a little bit lower than it was last year, but it's not that far from his average, his career average. Uh, yeah, I just don't see an 80-point player this year.
Junior?
Yeah, he won't be an 80-point player this year. Um, they're also producing a lot less on the power play, and last year he had 34 points on the power play. So that's something to take into account too. I mean, he only has 15, so he's probably pacing for 27 points maybe on the power play this year, 7 points less than last year. Those 7 points brings him, to 75 points, pace of 75 points. So look, yeah, I mean, until that power play gets back on track, I wish my window froze here. I wanted to check where the team stood as a power play percentage among all teams. I can't get that for you right now, but anyways, yeah. So I don't think he's gonna be ever a point per game consistently. I think he flirts closer to 70, 75 points.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the fantasy lens. Oh, Nick, I think you're gonna like this one. You ready, Nick?
Uh, I don't know, man. Okay, tell me.
Vince, you're muted, or
Okay.
you're not. We don't hear you.
Nick, you heard me?
I
Okay,
heard you.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you call cheese that is not yours? Nacho
Well,
cheese.
Is that a Super Bowl reference?
There you go. Could be an anything
Uh,
reference. Nachos are amazing.
yeah. I'll give it
Uh,
a pass because Super Bowl's coming up. How about that?
all right, people. If you want to see Nick
happy Super
streaking,
Bowl.
if you want to see Nick streaking, subscribe, follow, download. We are here for you.
You
And
Guys,
guys, what's your pick? Super Bowl pick.
Super Bowl pick. Super Bowl pick.
Clint Kubiak's offense, 45
No
points
kidding.
against the Patriots. And then
The
he
Miami,
becomes the head coach of the Raiders.
the Miami Dolphins. No, no. I think the Seattle Seahawks are taking it.
Just to be different, I'm gonna go Patriots.
You both want Patriots. No,
No.
No, you guys
No.
both took Seattle.
Seattle. Okay, well, at least we're the smart ones. All right, people. Have a good night.
Have a good night.